Hello, welcome to another stream. How about that? How about that? Welcome. So today is Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. I think today is Wednesday. I keep forgetting what day it is. So that means today, according to the schedule, we are doing C++ development, and we continue developing something called Vodus, which is a text-to-video renderer. Right, you can find the source code of this thing here in the chat, if you're interested, of course. Apparently, I forgot to update the project command. Give me a second. I thought I updated it. Did I not? I actually didn't. Oh my god, I'm such a peg, I'm really sorry. Today we are developing text-to-video renderer in C++. Lars Gretness subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for your first subscription, and welcome to our C++ club. How about that? Thank you so much. So I'm gonna provide the source code real quick. Tsoding Vodus. I think it's a correct link. I just typed it off of my head. Yeah, so you can find the source code here, and let's get started. So hello everyone, hello Columbetka, hello Aiguduk, hello Cooper King, hello Move AX, and of course hello Lars Greatness, Ivan Ho, Fush, Raven Master, Serious Sergio. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Oxas too, welcome to the stream. What you mean text to video? I'm gonna show you soon. So just give me a second. I'm gonna start TeamX. So we're gonna go to the project itself, and maybe I'm gonna fetch the latest changes, because maybe there are some. Just a second. Hello, Isengrim, welcome to the stream. Yeah, there are some changes, and the branch 141 is actually merged, so that means we should be able to delete that branch super quick. It's not fully merged because I forgot to merge the origin master. I only fetched the stuff, but I didn't actually merge it. So now everything is okay, and let me quickly rebuild everything, the whole project, and I'm gonna demonstrate what I mean by text to video rendering. Cheers. It may take some time. The full rebuild is actually quite expensive, but I think it's worth it. So right now what we're building, I think we're building only release. Oh yeah, it is release because it's 03. Usually when we build in debug, it's actually 00. So right now we're building debug. So we usually have two builds, release and debug. So release is slower to build, but it's faster to run because it enables all the optimizations and so on and so forth. And debug is faster to build, but it disables all of the optimizations. So it improves the development cycle when I make changes, compile them, and just check them. Anyway, so imagine that you have this file. So this file is actually a chat log from Twitch, right? It's a chat log from Twitch, people spamming emotes and stuff like that. And what our application is capable of doing is taking this file and turning it into a video, synchronizing all of the messages to their corresponding timestamps. So let's take a look at how it's gonna happen. So we're gonna do render, and yeah, I think it's gonna just go ahead and render them. So there is like a 40 seconds of the video, and we're gonna wait a little bit until it actually renders everything, and the output is gonna look like this, and it doesn't work. So yeah, well, I mean, it kind of works. So you can see the chat log, but the emotes that's supposed to be replaced with images don't work because our emote downloader has broke. Jiang,
И spent a good 3 minutes trying to think of something funny to say, but I gave up.
you don't have to, but thank you so much for 17 months of tier 1 subscription. Thank you, and welcome to our epic C++ club. Yeah, you don't have to say anything funny, so it's okay. It's totally okay. There do be days like that when you can't say anything funny, so yeah, I completely understand you. All right, so here it is. I think we should try to download some emotes, but I think BTTV is broke. Yeah, BTTV is completely broken, and this is something that we probably will have to investigate today. We'll see how it goes. So let me update our emote downloader real quick, and I'm gonna exclude the BTTV downloading real quick. So we're gonna see how it goes. Oh shit, I forgot how to use Vim. Just a second. Yeah, there we go. And let me rebuild. Hello Panapodi, welcome to the stream. Hello everyone who just joined. Emote downloader, right? So here's the emote downloader, and if I try to download, it will try to download only FFZ emotes. Hopefully that will be okay. Alright, so, and we can try to re-render this thing one more time, just to see at least FFZ emotes. The BTTV emotes are not going to be visible there, but at least FFZ is going to be there. You don't have to say something funny, just give me my... I didn't mean that. Thank you, Ivan Hun. Alright, so, so these are all of the... Okay, so we have FFZ emotes. As you can see, some of them are rendered. Unfortunately, no GIF emotes, right? Because all of the GIF emotes are FFZ, but it does support GIFs as well, right? So it actually animates them and stuff. The most important emote work, yeah, I suppose. Sure. So, but for some reason, BTTV doesn't work, and this is something that I wanted to investigate today, just to see what the fuck is going on. So yeah, let's go to the issue tracker and let's take a look at some of the things that we have there. So what do we have planned for today? So, and of course, that actually, the fact that we cannot download BTTV emotes affects our build, and that is quite sad. But fortunately, we created a special issue to fix all of that. And once you create an issue, you know, the problem is half solved, right? Because the first step in solving any problem is acknowledging the problem, right? So once you created the issue, you acknowledge the problem, so you almost solved it. That's how it works, right? So yeah, hopefully that's how it works. So easy solution. So let's go to the Vodus and create a separate branch. So separate branch is going to be 1 4 6. There we go. Let's open emote downloader. What's funny is that I think it fails specifically here, right? It fails specifically here. Let me actually try that. So if I try to rebuild emote downloader, right? I'm going to try to rebuild it and I'm going to try to run it. It complains about like this URL, which is exactly that. So what if we don't comment like both of the BTTV downloadings, but only the first one, and try to download the emotes from the Tsoding channel directly? So maybe that will be a little bit better. Let's find out. So I'm gonna try to rebuild that thing. And it also doesn't work, so it doesn't really matter. So anything we try doesn't work. So another thing I wanted to try, I wanted to actually go to this API from my browser. I think I already did that, and I think it led to access denied. Yes. So it's straight up led to access denied. But can I visit BTTV itself? Is it only this or something else? Oh yeah, okay. So I can visit BTTV, betterttv.com like quite easily, right? I can visit that, but I cannot visit API. So I'm not showing how I'm visiting API because Cloudflare actually leaks my IP. So, and I don't really like that. Alright, bttv.net. Yeah, there's something really strange. This website is using security service to protect itself. Access denied. This is really strange. So, and also I remember we had a conversation. Where there was given this link specifically. And what's funny is that I'm not sure how Chitterina works. Chitterina is not supposed to work then because I assume it's using the same API, right? And if you take a look, we have BTTV emotes here, right? We do have BTTV emotes. So, I don't know. So around AST removed our domain from the send SSL service, causing all connection to PT service to start failing because the certificate appears invalid. But this is not the problem. Unfortunately, until Cloudflare resolves the problem, for us BTTV will not be able to load or function. We'll be tweeting updates in here. So, did they actually tweet any updates about that? That's actually very interesting. Is close the mentoring grid, okay. Chrome approved our extension, update overnight. So they don't really have any like new tweets regarding all of that, so is it like unsolved problem? And the question is then, how does Chitterina work then, right? Can we take a look at the Chitterina source code? Are they using the same API or something? Or, like, I'm actually super confused. Why everything else working? And only our application doesn't work. So maybe something wrong with our approach. So let's actually try to find where they're referring to this thing. Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at the API they're using? They're using 3 cached emotes global, and we are using 2. So, yeah. I think they have... Oh, okay, oh my god, like... Zhiyang, you're writing for my curveball, and my brain automatically ignores all of the messages from my curveball, that's why I didn't see anything you say, I'm sorry. You already actually said that, but yeah, I discovered it myself, yeah. They have a version 3 now, I'm using the version 3 one, seems to work. Okay, so... let's actually go ahead and try to replace it. So this is gonna be that. Right, this is gonna be that. Does it have like a different scheme though? Does it have a different scheme? That's a good question. So it must have a different scheme because it's a version 3. Doesn't seem to be to have such like a different scheme. So it's also called users and stuff. Alright, so let's try to replace all of that. Alright, thank you so much, Jiang, for letting me know. So, and suppose we have to do it like this. Alright, so let's give it a try now. So if it's gonna work, it's gonna be the easiest fix for today. It's actually super cool. Emote downloader, there we go. And let's actually try to run it and see if it's gonna do anything. JSON object, but got JSON array. Oh shit. And unfortunately, we don't even know where exactly that happens. Alright, so we literally don't know where exactly that happens, so we'll have to... I'm using my custom JSON parsing library, so... it's gonna be a huge pain in the ass to refactor, and, I mean to troubleshoot, but yep. Expected JSON object, but good JSON array. So expected. So this is where we print all of that. And maybe. I just realized that API isn't even documented public. Yes, it is not. Maybe this is because you're not supposed to use it, and this is API for the extension only. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. So let me actually comment out this thing, and also I want to double check if everything's okay here. Oh, I don't even have an access to my Tsoding stuff. Cached. version 3. Huh. So there's nothing by this URL actually. There's nothing by this URL. That is very strange. I wish I could show you, but I'm afraid that this website is gonna leak something. Huh. So... okay, so you probably have to if this is the base URL, you probably have to do the following thing. You probably have to do Twitch and something like this. Right, so basically, yeah, I got it. So it's a user on Twitch. So essentially, this API implies that BTTV may work not only on Twitch. I see now. This is very interesting. This is very, very interesting. Okay, let me try to remove that. And I'm gonna try to access this URL. Is it considered hacking if you use an undocumented API? I don't understand what you mean. User not found. Huh. Strange. Such user not found. Like it literally says user not found. You see, I'm trying to access that. It says user not found. Very sad moment. Anyway, so at least we can access unique channel ID. Oh shit. Okay. So I think I can do something like this, essentially. Thank you, Chaturina. By the way, you can copy user ID from here if you didn't know. So you just click on the name, and here is the user ID. You can copy it here, and you can paste it here. And I couldn't actually paste it. Hello, zconfig. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. User ID leaked. Yeah. It's such a private information. My God. All right. So I just leaked my user ID. What can I say? So let me take a look at what we have there. So, yep. Oh shit, that's actually very bad. So we have something called channel emotes. Oh yeah, so maybe now it will work. I think maybe now it will work. Let's find out. I don't really want to rebuild everything, so I'm gonna do emote downloader, and I'm gonna try to run the emote downloader. Hopefully, fuck. It still fails there. So what I'm thinking, maybe when we're expecting something, we could add a little bit of context, right? Something like string, maybe just const char. You know what? We can even make it like a templated thing, right? Template type name args, right? And actually, you know, format everything correctly. I'm starting to use more and more like variadic templates. They're so addictive, especially with the combination of println. Like, it just makes so much sense. Oh my god. So, and then I'm gonna add a space here, and it's gonna be args. And I don't really remember where I'm supposed to put the you know, dots here, but we will see how it goes. And then stop intellectually masturbating. I'm sorry, it's too late. I already lost. So yesterday I lost on the yesterday stream. Okay. All right. So fuck. Why did it select everything? I'm such a pepega. Okay. Emote downloader, and let's try to run that thing. And it's not supposed to compile. Wait a second. Oh, okay. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, it's supposed to compile, but... So essentially now I need to go through each individual thing here and add a little bit of context, right? So for example, I want to add here emoticons. Right, the next one is gonna be I don't know, element of emoticons. So then URLs. URL. Emote ID. Name. When it comes to broke compilation assisted development, a little bit. Yes, it is true. They broke things a little bit. So this is, I don't want to add anything there, but yeah. So maybe I can call it root. Maybe it's gonna be FFZ. FFZ, not FZZ, but FFZ. Alright, and here we're gonna have something like FFZ room, FFZ sets, FFZ set, and what do we have here? It's actually not set, but set ID, I think. So I don't think it fails in FFZ, so it doesn't really matter, but I just want to add a little bit of context here. Maybe it would be better to look at the backtraced. Right, it would be better to look at the backtrace to know where exactly that fails, because it doesn't really tell me much, right? But yeah, I got nothing. Alright, so I think this entire idea with the context is absolutely dumb, and I'm an idiot. So what I should have done instead, I think, I should have tried to print the, you know, the, oh shit, the stack trace. That's what I wanted to say. I should have printed the stack trace. So maybe I'm gonna put like a debugger there. Yeah. So we're probably gonna use GDB. Probably gonna use GDB. So emote downloader. And where I'm gonna break? I'm gonna break in SRC emote downloader CPP. So the line is gonna be 115, and I'm gonna just try to run it. And let's take a look at the backtrace. And of course, we're trying to download BTTV, and the place where we have that problem, one frame down is 28289. Alright, so there's no emotes. There's no emotes there anymore. Let's take a look at the whole structure of this thing. Like, let's take a look at the global thing here. I'm gonna do curl, right? And I'm gonna pipe it into JQ, so it will reformat everything correctly. And let's actually save all of that to, I don't know, like global JSON, right? So then I will be able to inspect all of that a little bit easier. So here's the JSON, and there you go. There's no such notion as an emote, right? So so it's, you straight up get a list, right? You straight up get a list, and maybe that's exactly what I need to do here. All right, so let's try to modify that. Let's try to modify that. Yeah. So the schema completely changed. So essentially, so it's append FFZ. Everything is emote now. Yeah, I suppose. Append BTTV mapping. Right, so here's append BTTV. We perform this thing, we allocate some memory and shit. We parse the JSON, and then we expect this thing to be JSON object, but it has to be an array. So I suppose we have to go a little bit like deeper. Right, we have to go a little bit deeper. So now this thing is JSON array, and instead of emotes, we're iterating, in fact, result value array, something like this. I think this is how we have to do it now. So do we have still the same fields there? That's a good question. We still have ID, we still have a code, we still have an image type. So the only difference here is that they shell off the outer object. What's up, Stuffs, and welcome to the stream. So that's the main difference here, I suppose. All right. So sounds good to me. I mean, yeah, sure. So let's go ahead and build all of that, and I think after that it's gonna be buildable. I mean, downloadable and stuff like that. Oh, for fuck's sake. All right. So one more time, I suppose. Do I still? Okay, so it doesn't save the history. So we have to break on SRC emote downloader. I think I remember the line 115, and let's just run it. And yeah, BT, and it now fails on 288. And wait a second. What are you talking about? This thing is supposed to be a JSON array, is it not? Right, so this is a JSON array, and then what does it say? What does it say? Emote downloader. JSON array, but got JSON object. The fuck? I'm extremely confused. So this is a JSON object. Channel emotes have different format. Oh shit. Alright, so thank you so much. I don't know why I'm such a pepega today. I should have actually downloaded them like right away. So let's do a curl here, and I'm gonna do JQ, and I'm gonna save it to Tsoding JSON. Right, so this is gonna be the Tsoding JSON, and let me open Tsoding JSON. This is horrible, actually. The fuck? I mean, okay, yeah, I can... Alright. But what if you add another kind of emotes? So that means you will have to update all of the places where you handle that. This is actually not extendable. This is a very not extendable. Right, so we have channel emotes and shared emotes, but what if you're gonna have more kinds of emotes? And yeah, so you have to update all of the places where you access all of that. This is really not good in my opinion. But maybe they have their own reasons to do it like that. So they must have their own reasons to do that. Alright. So we can easily check all of that by simply commenting out this thing. And I'm gonna do emote downloader, and I'm gonna just run emote downloader and see if it's gonna download anything. How about that? About that. It is in fact downloading something, which is quite cool. So that means our thing went correctly, I think. So to be fair, maybe like a emote downloader should have been written in Python or something like that. Would be easier to work with. What is it? Why is it waiting? What are you waiting for? Excuse me? That's really strange. What it was waiting for? It was waiting for something. Okay, it went well. So, and then we can do make render, just to see how it's gonna render things. So, and then let's see if we have anything. So all of these things are channel emotes anyway, but Keycona, for example, is a global emote, right? Keycona is a global emote, so, and that global emote actually works. Right, so that's cool, I suppose. So now we need to modify, you know, this thing. So we already have like a separate, like append global FFZ mappings and append room FFZ mapping. So maybe we can change it append like global BTTV mapping, right? So let's actually find this thing and call it global BTTV mapping. Oh my god. Then I'm gonna try to. Oh my god, I didn't rename it, but let's try to build this thing. Emote download. Yeah. So this one is gonna be append global BTTV mapping, and this one is gonna be append channel BTTV mapping. There we go. So, and what we're gonna have in append channel BTTV mapping? That's a very good question. So I think it's gonna be very similar to, well, to be fair, in the global we can strip off this URL, but whatever, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna copy paste this thing here, I'm gonna put it here, and boom, boom, this one is gonna be channel. This one is gonna be channel. Alright, so let me find what we have here. So first thing we perform, we clear curl buffer, right? We clear curl buffer. So then we perform a query and stuff like that. So this is a very bad program actually, it's written in a very unintuitive style, so... but yeah, so then we have a JSON result, right, and we're checking that the JSON result is okay, alright. And then what we're expecting from a JSON result, we're about to find out. So we expect an object, right? We do in fact expect object. So let me see. So we expect JSON object. That's what we expect here. So after that, I have to actually go inside of this thing. So JSON object value by key, right? I'll have to get the JSON object value by key. So it's going to be something like a result value. And what I'm looking here is object, yeah, so I'm converting it into object. And what I'm looking for is essentially channel emotes, I suppose, right? So this, because this is what I want to extract there. Let me actually open this thing because it's not particularly convenient. Yeah. So I'm looking only for channel emotes. Right. So this will give me channel emotes. Channel emotes. There we go. So the next thing I want to extract is shared emotes, right? So this one is going to be shared. Yeah, there we go. And we're going to have two sections where we iterate through each individual emotes. Luckily, I think the format of each individual emote is the same, right? It's so same that I think I can simply copy paste this entire sort of section, right, and just to use it 2 times. What's up, Witness? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. So another thing I probably want to do, I want to expect JSON type channel emotes to be JSON array, right? And both of these things shared, and a channel should be JSON array. There we go. So, and after that, I can probably try to iterate all of these things. So this is how I'm going to iterate them. So this one is channel emotes, and this is an array, and I'm going to copy paste this one more time. Where am I? Okay, so this is a very big loop. So maybe it would make sense to extract it to a separate function at some point. So that'll be actually pretty great. So this one is a shared emotes, right? Let's try to see if this compiles or not. And in fact, it compiles, and let's try to run emote downloader and see if it's going to download everything correctly. It seems to be downloading things from BTTV. So, and I don't have any of the URLs commented out, so it's actually working as intended. All right, that's pretty cool. I don't really understand why it waits at the end here. Like, what is it waiting for? This is kind of weird. This is kind of weird. All right, so, and now if I try to render a video, right? If I try to render a video, hopefully the video is going to be fully rendered. All of the emotes are going to be in place. So yeah, hopefully it's going to be okay. Let me take a look, and there we go. Everything is in, yeah. So we managed to parse everything correctly. Super cool. Yeah. So this is how it's supposed to look like, actually. Yes, this is how it's supposed to look like. So let's do a committee. So I feel so bad about this project because I don't really take it super seriously. Because you see, I'm using my own JSON library. I'm making like a downloader of emotes in C++, and a lot of people have like a legit interest in this project, and I don't care about it. Like, I'm just doing different things like on my own, and I feel so bad because obviously people kind of want this tool, but I just want to play with different tools. I also kind of want this tool, but not critically, so it's kind of makes me feel a little bit bad. Hello, Drocko87, welcome to the stream. I'm kind of like a, you know, slow cooking project that I did with a low priority thing. Just for the sake of recreational programming. Migrate emote downloader to version 3 BTTV API, right? So this is the first thing we did here. Another thing I want to do, actually, I want to extract these repeating chunks to a separate method, because we are using these chunks already 2 times. So I don't think it's a generally good idea to repeat this kind of stuff like 3 times. Did I say 2? Yeah, I meant 3, actually. Yeah, I meant 3. So, yeah. More OOP. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna add like another function. I think I ate too many eggs, dying over here. Well, rest in peace, I suppose. Yeah. Here lies Woodness, the lover of eggs. Hello, by XXX. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, and thank you for the bits. So let's actually create a function that will, you know, represent this thing. I don't know how to call it. So maybe we're gonna accept JSON array, and this is gonna be array, and I'm gonna just iterate. Let's actually call it emotes array. So here we go. We have emotes array. And essentially what we're doing here, so we do a download, yeah, so let's do something like this: append BTTV emotes array. Right. So, and let's try to compile that and see what kind of arguments we'll need there. So, let's see what kind of arguments we'll need there. We'll need emotes array. Okay, so here it is. So what else here, do we need here? We need downloads. So what is downloads, by the way? It's a fixed array. All right. So let's actually put it here then. So there you go. Here's your fixed array, and we also need mapping. So, and what is a mapping? Mapping is a file where you actually save all of that. All right, so sounds good to me. So these are all of the arguments that we'll need here. So now I should be able to append channel BTTV mapping, append actually BTTV emotes array, and this is going to be channel array, downloads and mapping, something like this, and that will enable him with removing this entire thing. So now we have a like sort of reusable chunk of code. Does it compile? It does in fact compile. So then the next thing I can do is shared emotes array, right? So here's the shared emotes array, and there we go. So yeah, should be okay now. So let me run emote downloader and see if it's gonna work. Hello, my Geno 190. Welcome to the stream. So it seems to be downloading things. Yeah. So the issue is already fixed. I just want to refactor things a little bit. You're awesome. Thank you so much. I don't do anything special. I just program dumb shit. I guess dumb shit is entertaining. Maybe I don't know. Thank you for the warm words. All right. So seems to be working. And if I try to render the video. So what are you doing? I'm doing text to video renderer. So, right. So we have this thing that takes the chat log of Twitch and renders it into a video. But as a part of this project, we also have emote downloader that downloads emotes for BTTV and FFZ, and it broke. And what we're doing right now, we're currently fixing it. So, and the fix is actually migrating it to a different version of API that they're using. And yeah, so I already did that. I'm just refactoring the code so it looks a little bit better. And by the way, so this is how it works. So we have this chat log that looks like this. And, well, I'm sorry, new people are not allowed to send links. So, and the result of this thing is gonna look like this, right? Yeah. So this was generated from that text file. So yeah. So that's what we're doing essentially. Nothing special to be fair. So and I think this stuff, this particular function should be also reusable here in append global PTTV modes. Right. So let me quickly do that. Decode in Scratch. Nice. I think we did a Scratch stream at some point. It was fun, I think it was fun. Alright, so now I'm gonna replace this thing with that, and I'm gonna remove this entire chunk, and there you go. Now I reused this function 3 times, you see? So there's a rule of thumb on when to extract a piece of code to a separate function to factor it out, and usually it's 3, right? If you have like a repeating piece of code 3 times, so that means it's a good time to extract it to a separate function. So and here it is. So let's see if it's gonna work or not. I wonder if it's gonna work or not. So the thing, what it does essentially, it just iterates through the emotes array, and that's it. Alright, so it seems to be compiling, and let's try to download emotes one more time. Emote downloader. Seems to be downloading everything. Alright, cool. Excuse me. So I'm gonna try to render it one more time. Alright. Seems to be working. Alright, now I think the time has come to commit everything here. So this is essentially the refactoring. So you see, you can clearly see how we managed to extract a repeating piece of code into a separate function. You can clearly see that in the diff. I think it's kind of funny how you can see that. Yeah. I don't know what makes me laugh. Alright, so 146 and factor out repeating piece of code, right? And we're gonna push that right into the repo. So I think now the build should be fixed finally. And yeah, this is the first fix of today. I'm super happy about it. The build for this project was broken for quite some time already, and I'm really glad that I managed to fix it today. I'm super glad we managed to fix it. Alright. So, how everyone's doing, by the way? We're just waiting for continuous integration and stuff like that. That's a lot of changes, I gotta say. So I also hard-coded my idea here. At some point I want to actually improve this tool and then hard-code a lot of things. Hello Chromosome Drift, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? How are you doing? Welcome. So we're developing in C++ today. It's not Rust, I know, it's kind of boring. It's not Rust. But it is what it is. Our project is in C++ and we just need to keep maintaining it. I'm doing well, yeah. I think so. Just waiting for continuous integration. So what else do we have here? Oh, I wanted to check HarfBuzz. And yeah, I'm not really sure what is HarfBuzz. But it sounded very useful because yeah, it's about like a combination of glyphs and stuff like that, and we're supporting Unicode, so I was thinking maybe we can integrate that into the rendering, and I was thinking how difficult that could be. So I'm not even sure if I'm going to do that, but we can give it a try, why not? HarfBuzz. HarfBuzz. Has anybody heard about this library, by the way? Text shaping engine, that's what it is. Text shaping engine. So what is it written? It's written in C++ primarily, and we're using C++, luckily. So there's also official website, and the thing I want to do with the scope of this issue is just to see if it's applicable for our case and how it can be applicable. Okay, I clicked on the official website and it redirected me to here. What do you guys think? Is it something interesting to check out? It's a text shaping library using the HarfBuzz library allows programs to convert a sequence of Unicode input into properly formatted and positioned glyph output for any writing system and language. Oh, what's funny is that I think we kind of do that ourselves already. So, yeah. Huh. That's very interesting. I want to check it out because maybe this particular library will replace some of the code that we have, but I have no guarantee if we're gonna actually use this library. So I just wanna explore it, right? Yeah. So I'm just waiting for the continuous integration. I wonder how much time the continuous integration will take. It seems to be taking a lot of time because it's rebuilding third-party dependencies. It's rebuilding all of the third-party dependencies. Yes, that's probably why it's taken so much. All right, so that means we'll have to put that on the back burner and maybe start working on checking out HarfBuzz. I don't even know how to pronounce that thing correctly, so I'm sorry. Wait a second. I think I did the fucky wacky. Hello CL1, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? So just a second. Just a second. Need to check something. All right. So, while everything is building, let's actually check out HarfBuzz. Can't really get used to multi-threading. Yeah, it's kind of difficult. Multi-threading is very difficult. Text. So we're gonna go to prob. And I'm gonna do something like HarfBuzz. Right, let's take a look at this thing. So do I have it installed anywhere? HarfBuzz. So we have a lib HarfBuzz dev, but I'm pretty sure it's very old, right? So, but we can try to use it anyway, because why not? Let's give it a try. Oh, it's already installed. Nice. So do I have that in package config? So list all. List all. I should have actually did grep HarfBuzz. And I do have it. Okay, so and there's several versions of it. Library ICU integration and GeoObject integration. We definitely don't need GeoObject integration, and I have no idea what is ICU. What is ICU? Excuse me. ICU intensive care unit. No, this is definitely not what I think it is. Programming. What is ICU? The initial component. Okay, so maybe if I Google HarfBuzz ICU. ICU layout engine API. Okay, so ICU layout engine. Oh shit, this looks like a huge bloat. This thing looks like a huge bloat. Like you have like a library, then you have a layout engine and stuff like that. I don't really want to do that, to be fair, but I still want to check out this library anyway, so just to maybe try to render something with it. So yeah, let's give it a try. So I want to go to the documentation of this library and maybe try some examples if they do exist. So we have downloading, building, getting started with HarfBuzz. So the core of the shaping API and the functionality is HB shape. The function takes a font, buffer containing string of Unicode, blah blah blah. A simple shaping example, nice. Rabbit hole incoming. I don't think so. I don't think it's that big of a rabbit hole. So there's example here. So maybe there will be something interesting. So we can create a buffer and put your text in it, right? So it accepts UTF-8 text, nice. Set script language and direction of the buffer. Script language? Ah, you mean like Latin and stuff like that. Send wealth, welcome to the stream, welcome, welcome, welcome. Create a face and a font using free type for now. All right, so shape. So HarfBuzz integrates with free type. So, but it does so through HB-FT thingy. All right. So, and then set the glyph and position information. Iterate over each glyph, and it just positions them. Tidy up. All right. That's a very strange thing, but I mean, doesn't free type actually already have a little bit of a text shaping capabilities, because like it also provides you like X advance and stuff like that. I think so. So, but I mean, maybe these capabilities are very basic and it cannot handle like something like Arabic, which is actually from right to left, not left to right, or something like that. I don't even know. Yeah, what's up, Zhenk? Welcome back. So yeah, we're taking a look at the HarfBuzz, and I'm not sure if it's a good idea to use it in our project. It looks like a bloat, but I'm still fascinated by it. So yeah, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. So let's actually try to code a simple example of HarfBuzz and see if it's interesting or not. So is it C or is it C++? It looks like very C-ish. So I'm gonna assume that it's C. So we're gonna include std out. We're also gonna include std lib, and we're also gonna include hb, right? So we're including hb, then this thing, and I think I want to create a simple make file. So it's gonna be hb probe, right? hb probe HarfBuzz. Thank you so much, Kumbetko. Thank you so much. It's a HarfBuzz. Main.c, and let's see. All right. Yeah. So it's gonna be cc. It's gonna be a cc. C flags. HB probe main.c. and leaps. All right, so C flags, WO, W error, and do we need anything else? I think we'll need to do something like package config C flags. Are you interested in American elections? No. I'm Russian. I don't believe in elections. Come on. All right. So, do you really think a Russian would be interested in American elections? Seriously? Come on. I'm not even interested in our own elections. Well, I mean, there's a reason for that, but still. I never actually visited elections, like presidential elections in Russia. Like, fuck that. So. You already know the result, exactly. Going on a Russian presidential elections is the most useless thing you can do with your life. Seriously. It's just no. Okay, so it seems to be working, and yeah. Yeah, hello everyone who just joined. Raymond Master, MoveX, hello. Okay, so let's try to compile all of that, I suppose, and see if it's gonna do the thing. If it's gonna do it did a thing. Would you look at that? But I'm not sure if it did the thing properly. So if I try to call this thing separately, will it give me the list of the flags and shit? So it does give me the list of flags and shit. So it's kind of interesting. Alright, so the next thing we have to do, we have to create HB buffer, right? HB buffer T, there we go. So we created the buffer. Unused variable, fair enough. So the next thing, we have to actually create it. Seriously, they are suggesting me to do it like that. HB buffer create. What kind of boomer code is that? Dude, it's fucking 2020. Just, you did know that you can do it like that. Oh my god. Hamikowi, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? So, yeah. And then, what we're doing there, we're adding a text to a buffer, right? We're adding the text to a buffer, so we're using HB buffer add UTF-8. All right, so, and let's go there. User include, and can I find HarfBuzz? So here's the HarfBuzz, and let me try the definition, try to find the definition of this function there, and I'm an idiot. So let's actually try to find it like that. We did find it? Yes, we did in fact find it. All right, so I can go back here and just call it like that. Right, so HarfBuzz, welcome to the streamers. Welcome. Really glad to see you. Welcome. So okay, so we're adding that to the buffer, right? We're adding that all to the buffer. So then we're gonna have a text. I'm gonna have a text, and what text are we gonna put there? So the text has to be UTF-8. So, and I have an opportunity to type something in the UTF-8. Yeah, so this is a UTF-8. All right, so, and the text length, do I need to specify the text length? I can actually specify it as -1, that means it's going to be used, it's probably going to use like an ultiminated thing. It doesn't really explain anything. So I suppose item offset is 0 and item length is also -1, so I can also merge all of that together. And let's try to build all of that and see if it's gonna do a thing. It actually compiles. Okay, so I'm gonna try to run it and see if it doesn't seek false, because it could be, might as well. And it didn't. So what it did, it just created the buffer and just added some text into the buffer. Cool. So I suppose after that we want to clean up everything and we want to destroy the buffer. So HB buffer destroy, right? So we're destroying the buffer. So there we go. After that, we set the direction. Oh shit. Okay, so we can actually set directions and shit. Huh. Then you can set a script, whether it's a Latin or in our case, we probably will have to set Cyrillic, right? Because I typed everything in Cyrillic. But that means you have to know upfront, right? What kind of thing you have there. So it's kind of weird. So you have to set direction, script, and language. So, all right. So HB buffer set direction. Sarimon, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Really glad to see you. Hello, hello, hello. Include HarfBuzz, and let's actually grab for this entire thing. So HB buffer set direction. I just want to take a look at the definition of this function. So here it is, and yeah, it essentially takes the buffer and the direction. Looks good to me. So boom. So what's going to be the buffer? The buffer is going to be the buff, and then we need to take a look at the HB direction. Right? HB direction, and HB direction could be, oh shit. Okay. So where can I have a set of predefined directions? So they have HB direction L to R, and it's defined actually in a different place. So let me grab them as well. So it's going to be grep Rn. Yep. Here is the list of all of the possible direction. And you can set an invalid direction if you want to. I mean, sure. I wonder how it's going to render things. Maybe it's going to render things invalid. Who knows? Left to right, right to left, top to bottom, bottom to top. So basically, yeah, you essentially can organize glyphs in whatever like order you want. So especially like for Arabic, as far as I know, you have to render them from right to left, and this is exactly why you want to be able to do that. So it just renders a GBait instead of text. Yeah, that's what it does. All right, so let's set the direction. It's really bad, in my opinion, that, well, yeah, okay, I thought it's not enumeration, it's actually, in fact, enumeration. All right, that's actually super cool. So we also need to now set the script, right? We need to set the script. Let me see how we're gonna do all of that. It's gonna be grep Rn, HB set script. Right, so here is the thing that sets the script. So there we go. So we're gonna assign our buffer there, and now we need to know what kind of scripts we may have there. So let me quickly grab this thing here. So where is the definition of the script? I think I can see it. I think I see it. In num? Is it in num? No, it's not in num. Yeah, there we go, I found it. So, and this is different scripts we can have here. It's very interesting. There is a soimbo. I don't know what that is. There's also some sort of versions here. And here is the Cyrillic, by the way. Yeah. So I guess in our case, we're gonna just pick up Cyrillic, right? Because we put Cyrillic stuff into the buffer. All right, makes sense. Everything is pretty straightforward so far, I can tell, I can say. So, and we also need to set the language. All right, so let me actually try to find that. So it's going to be grep Rn. So here is the set the language. So here's the buffer. And what's funny is that in the example they say that you have to construct the language using this function. Right, let me take a look if I can find definition of this type. And do I really need to do that? It's actually a very good question. All right, so super quick. Yeah, I suppose I'll have to construct it using this function. And I wonder if I can use RU there for the Russian, because RU is usually the abbreviation for Russian. I'm really sorry that I just don't copy-paste the code for me, when I'm exploring the library, it's quite important to just go through each individual function calls, look at the definitions, sort of absorb the library, like, right, to understand the logic behind it and stuff like that. I don't know why it is important for me, but for some reason it is important for me. So yeah, when I'm looking through example, I'm doing this kind of stuff. All right, and creating free type font. So this one is interesting. Is we'll have to do like our own custom initialization of free type. This is very strange, but okay. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with looking. I mean, yeah. Feel the same. It feels like the difference between reading about something and knowing something. Yeah, exactly. Right. So I could have just copy-pasted all of that and just, you know, hacked it together and just tried it. But I want to just look a little bit deeper into the API. Maybe it's kind of useless in the modern software development world, but I still want to do that. They will use ISO 639 two-letter language codes. Okay, I don't know what that means, but looks like something cool. Alright, so let's see if we can even build all of that. Did I try to build all of that? I don't remember if I even tried to build all of that. So I think I just copy-pasted some stuff. And let's try to build this thing. So this thing has to be called buff. This thing has to be called buff. And it seems to be compiling. So for the free type support, we have to do HB ft, right? That's what we have to do, hbft.h. And let's see if it's gonna work. Oh, would you look at that? So it did work, but then it also tries to include ft2 library. So that means we'll have to, oh shit, yeah, we'll have to include this thing somehow. I'm not sure if I even have a free type installed on my machine. Yeah, because for Vodus I'm using the free type that I built myself. Hello, hi Zoom, welcome to the stream. We're just learning HarfBuzz, right? I don't really know anything about this library. I'm just poking at it just to see what it's all about and stuff like that. So yeah, and I want to see if it's going to be useful for our project as well. So free type, do we have a free type? We do have a free type, so that means I should be able to quite easily just add free type to here and it will build automatically. And it in fact built. Would you look at that? Everything just worked. Beautiful. God Cooder. Alright. So what else do we have here? So we'll need to create the new face. No space. So sorry. New face, no space. And they don't even save it. They don't even save it. All right. All right. So I'm gonna do something like outer face. Oh shit! And I'm not even using the C++. So that means I'll have to do something like ft face. So, but I'm not quite sure if I can easily do that. A free type. Let me do it like that. Grep rn ft new face. What does it return? Does it have a definition? It yeah. So this one is weird. So it returns yeah. So you're supposed to actually prepare the face, I think. Right, you're supposed to prepare your face, like face library, a face variable, and then, yeah, there we go. And what about the index? What's the index? I don't know what is the index, to be fair, but we'll see. So we also need a path to the font, right? We also need a path to the font, and to have a path to the font, you need to have a font, all right? So if you don't have a font, you can't have a path to the font. Any path to the font you have, if you don't have a font, is going to be invalid. I don't know why I'm explaining all of that in such a stupid manner, but I just wanted to do that for some reason. All right. Okay, so here's the font path. And what's going to be the index? I don't remember what the fuck is an index, but maybe it's the index of the font within the file or something like that. I'm going to use it as 0. All right. So, and I'm going to try to compile this entire thing and see if it compiles. It does not compile because we don't have FT library. So if I remember correctly, to get FT library, you sort of have to initialize it first. You can load TTC, which are a collection of TTFs. I think those are the index. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Makes sense, actually. Thank you. So I'm gonna go back to Vodus to check out how exactly I'm initializing the FT stuff. So where's the main? I need to find the main, and here, yeah, this is how we do that, by the way. So you just create FT library, and also we have a case of error handling, which I'm gonna actually use. Right, so okay, so this is gonna be like that. We're initializing FT library. I don't know what I have to put here, so maybe it has to be called FT error. And if error has happened, we'll have to do something like fprintf std error could not initialize free type 2, and then we'll have to exit with 1. Also, does English people also use IAA when there is a little problem, or it's mainly Slav thing? What? I don't know. IAA is an emote, and it's a local Twitch meme. So I see. It's a yeah expression, I see. I think they do, but not really that often as Russians. Even the Russians don't really use that sort of expression that often. So in this thing, we're gonna call it LFT library. We're gonna call it FT library, and then go. How do you differentiate junior, mid, senior, and dev? You don't, because that's just a title given by the employer, and different employers actually, you know, have different criteria. So yeah. All right. So, and hello Akila, welcome to the stream. So, and I want to actually handle errors correctly for all of the calls here, like this. And I'm gonna quickly just copy paste this entire thing. I'm gonna just put it like that. And there we go, there we go. Let's try to compile that. And yeah, I should have actually not done that. There we go. On top of that, while compiling all that, I might as well try to run this thing just to see if it does not crash. It doesn't crash anything. It seems to be loading everything correctly. We can try to break that thing, right? Just to see if it, yeah, could not initialize free type, could not load font face, and we can provide the path to the font face we're trying to load, right? So if you have an incorrect font face, right, it's gonna say could not load font face and blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. Maybe font. Let's actually not call it face but font, right? I think it makes a little bit more sense. Alrighty. So and after that we'll have to set the character size. It's gonna be 1000. The fuck. And there's also 4 numbers here. All right. That's very interesting. And after that, you have to wrap the font that you loaded into HB custom type font. And then you will be able to shape the buffer with the font appropriately. All right, seems good. I want to find FT set character, so it's going to be user include free type, and let's actually grab this entire thing, grab rn, and where is the declaration or definition of this function? Here it is. So what we have here is face, character width, character height, horizontal resolution, vertical resolution, and for each individual of them there is like explanation what they are. Normal width in fractional points and horizontal in DPI. Okay, so I suppose I can just try to copy paste this thing here. can try to copy paste this thing here, and yeah, does it return an error? I think it does return an error, so we should be able to handle that error as well there. We should be able to handle it as well. So this is going to be the face, and I'm not sure why they're using such a big number for character height, 1000. So, and for the rest of these things they're using 0. So it's kind of weird, but I'm okay with that, I suppose. It's kind of weird, but okay. So fprintf std error could not resize, could not set char size. So makes sense? I think it does make sense. And then we're gonna exit. All right. So, and the next thing we'll have to wrap this font that we created into HB font. Right. And that apparently allocates the memory because we are given a pointer. So called HarfBuzz. Get on the HarfBuzz. There we go. And also it accepts destroy. Well, wait a second. They provide one argument here, but the function that I found accepts 2 arguments. I wonder why. Alright, if I try to copy paste this line, will it not compile because I'm using some sort of like a different version of HarfBuzz? So that could be a thing actually. That could be a thing. This code may not compile on the version of HarfBuzz that I'm using right now. So classic software development. Classic software development. Too few. Exactly. So yeah, we have a discrepancy between the versions of the HarfBuzz now. So welcome to the modern software development, I suppose. All right. So let's try to look up what is HB destroy func, right? All right. Same issues, recycle management, create reference if you can. Let me try to find the definition of this thing here. So it's going to be something like grep rn, right? And I suspect that it's a type. It is in fact type def, and I wonder if you can make it null. I wonder if you can just make it null and it will be ignored. But I don't know because I don't see any documentation for this particular function, right? So I don't see any documentation. So let's actually try to Google it one more time. And so destroy. They say nothing about destroy, to be fair. They literally say nothing. So I'm gonna make a wild guess and just assume that you can set this destroy function to null, and if it's not provided, it's not going to do anything. We might as well actually maybe we can just create it, because why not? Why can't you just create it? So what is it used for? Maybe it is actually a useful thing to have. Yeah, I don't know why I'm trying to avoid that, because maybe it is in fact a useful function. So if I go to the type def thingy, so it's a function that accepts user data, but what is user data then? What is user data? Is that the font that we're trying to create? It's actually a good question. Okay, I might as well just create that function, why not? And just pass it there, but I'm not going to do anything there. So it's going to be destroy or whatever, right? Destroy whatever. It's going to accept the thing, right? It's going to accept the thing. And yeah, we're going to just put there. The purpose of it is to free the face when HarfBuzz frees the HB font. Yeah, I figured it, but I was just too lazy to look into the documentation and stuff like that. So this was my first idea when I just saw this function. I just needed to look into the documentation. So I suppose the user data in that case is going to be face, right? And then you just free the face there. We might as well actually log something there just to see if it's doing anything. So destroy or whatever, and we're gonna actually print the pointer that we got here, just to see what's going on there, right? So something like this. Sounds like a good idea. All right. So let me try to recompile that. And yeah, I think it seems to be working. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, we need to shape, right? So, and that's the only explanation they have on this page, shape. What is shape? No, nobody knows, just shape. I'm pretty sure that what is shape is explained in the previous sections, but it's just, I think I find it funny. Just personally find it funny, I don't know. So here's the HarfBuzz, and we're gonna do grep, and I'm gonna do HB shape. So HB shape, there we go. Just want to see if the amount of things is the same, if the signature is similar. So, and what we have to provide here is essentially the font. We already have the font. We already have the buffer. Features, I suppose they set features to null, but you can have features. And the amount of features is 0 because all of the features are null. Alright, makes sense. Alright, so after that, get the glyph and position information. Before we're gonna do that, I want to compile that and just see if it doesn't break or anything. Right. So make -b, make -b, and I also am gonna try to run HB prob. Doesn't crash anything, so it performs everything correctly. So we have to get the glyph information and glyph positions. Then we have to iterate through the glyph count. Okay, so we also have to define the glyph count variable. Then we iterate through the glyphs and we draw the glyph. Alright, I wonder... Okay, that's really funny. So essentially, this is the function that we'll have to define ourselves. Right, but where do we specify the size of the screen we're drawing on? Or we don't? Maybe we don't. Maybe just, I don't know. Alright. So let's just try to code that. HB glyph. We're probably gonna draw it in a virtual canvas. I'm gonna just allocate like a memory, and then we're gonna draw into that memory, and we're gonna save that memory into PNG file using STB, right? So, or SBT. Yeah, I think it's SBT or STB or something. I forgot the. I forgot. Wait a second. It's kind of weird. STB. Okay, STB. I'm sorry. So info T. So we have glyph. Glyph info. There we go. And then we extract the glyph info, which is kind of interesting. So we put glyph count variable into this function, and then we put it into this one. So I suppose this function returns the amount of glyphs, but then does this function adds more glyphs into the count? That's a good question. Or does it just use them? So does it modify this variable? I'm actually kind of curious. Like, does it modify anything? I guess we're about to find out. Anyway, so user include HarfBuzz, and I'm gonna try to compile grep rn. Let's just find this function. It is defined somewhere here. So it's a length, and there's no explanation on any of that stuff. Nice. So it's gonna be, yeah, this. Right, and the glyph count is gonna be this glyph count. And should 0. So we already have a buffer, so it's gonna be just a buff, and then we're gonna have a glyph count. Then we're gonna have a glyph count. There we go. Then we need to have a glyph positions. So it's kind of really weird that we passed like this thing into both of them, but I'm gonna just, you know, accept that. I'm gonna just accept that. Alright. Maybe I also am gonna take this thing. I also gonna take this thing. Positions. Buffer. And is that zero C++? It's C for now. But we're gonna switch to C++ at some point. So, oh, this is not a glyph info. This is a glyph count. Glyph count. So, and this is actually called buff. And yeah, so all of these things are unused variables. Okay, so now we need to iterate through all of these things. We need to iterate through all of them. So this one is unsigned int. I'm actually kind of curious. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna print the value of this thing. Yeah, glyph count. Glyph count before let's call it initial glyph count equal D. I don't know why I'm curious about it. I think it's dumb. Glyph count after enforce, right? And glyph count after positions. You see what I'm doing here? You see what I'm doing here? I'm just like I wonder if it actually adds more glyphs there, right? So because this is a really weird API and really weird usage of API. So the only implication here is that positions can add more of these things. If it doesn't add more, why not pass it by a value? You see what I mean? Right? So that means it can add more glyphs, but it doesn't. From the name of this thing, you may not know. Let's think about the ligatures. Why do I need to think about them? All right. So, oh, you mean that it may reduce the amount of glyphs as well? Okay. So that's actually a pretty good idea. Maybe. So expected declared statement. Oh yeah. So yeah. So glyph positions. So we have to extract the glyph ID. Right, so we're extracting the glyph ID. And what is glyph ID? That's a good question. Well, I don't know. So we can easily find out by just, yeah, by just assigning some sort of type here and looking at the compilation errors. And compilation errors don't give a shit apparently. So I think I'm gonna do the following thing where I'm gonna remove this thing because I think it's kind of annoying. And it worked. What about like const, you know, const char? Initialization from. So the name of the type is HB code point. All right. So this is how you can figure out the type of this thing in C without auto. Because in C++ I would just use auto, but since yeah it's C, I have to do that. I know that in C there is its own auto, but I don't like. I have not developed like a habit of using that auto, and it looks ugly, by the way. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you. Looks kind of ugly. Sorry, but yeah. So then we have a offset. So there's an X offset, and I'm pretty sure I can, you know, essentially, essentially just move these things around. So then we'll have to draw the glyph. All right, this one is interesting. And then we'll have to update the cursor. And furthermore, the cursor, right, it has to be a variable that is defined somewhere. And actually, all of these variables have to be defined somewhere, to be fair. So X advance, do we use them anywhere? So X offset, okay. All right. Okay, so all of them are used. So, and I'm not sure what are their types. So X offset, what is the type of X offset? I'm gonna do like a very interesting thing. Again, const char, and look at the compilation error. Glyph pose. All right. So glyph pose, this is a glyph pose. So this is a 5-head of figuring out types of these things. It's so dumb, I love it. So this is a, yeah. But maybe it's not gonna actually work correctly. Yeah, okay. So, because it's a glyph pose, it's probably integer, but because we divide it by double, it gets converted into a double, so we end up with double here. Yeah, I see what it is. Glyph pose, and we don't have a glyph pose, because glyph pose is supposed to be this thing. Yeah. Like hole in Haskell. Yeah, I suppose. Oh, and so implicit declaration of function draw. I wish you to also tell me the signature of this function so I can define it. I can try to define it like this. So it's going to be draw glyph, right? And tell me the type of this function. Undeclared. Okay, so the cursor is not declared. All right. So let's define cursor. So I'm going to define it as integers because why not? Right, we'll see. We use them as doubles here, to be fair. So yeah. Okay, and it compiles. Why the fuck it compiles? Wait a second. What the fuck is going on? Is it like some sort of like a C voodoo? Like, why do I have this function? Because there's no overloading in C. So why doesn't it complain? Is that a... Yeah, I fell for it. I know, but what is it? What is this magic? I don't know about it. So declare... Ah, shit. Yeah. Wait. Let me guess. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. You have to do it like that. Yes. God damn it. Yeah. I remember it. Yeah. Thank you so much. That's funny. Fucking C. Jesus Christ. Because I vaguely remember. Yeah. Alright. So glyph ID. We have glyph ID. And I think glyph ID is essentially this thing. I can actually put it here. And what else do we have here? So we have a cursor and offset, and so I suppose it's X and Y, right? It has to be X and Y. Double X, double Y, and we'll have to implement all of that at some point. All right, seems good. So we might as well actually assert this entire stuff just to check that draw glyph is not implemented. There we go. This thing is not implemented. And I also need to include assert h. All right. So cool. And that's it, actually. That is, in fact, it. After that, we have to just destroy everything. We just have to destroy everything. And our simple example is ready. The only thing we'll have to implement here is this draw glyph. All right. And we'll see how it goes. So it's a HB code point glyph ID. So, but that means I'll also have to extract the glyph from the font by that ID. And they don't really explain how to do that. They actually omit a lot of things there. They don't explain a lot of things. Right. So, which is kind of strange. But yeah. Let's try to compile that and run it one more time. And isn't it called HB font? This is because I called it literally font. I'm sorry. All right. Okay, so it's so initial glyph count was 0, then it became 12, and then it stayed 12, exactly what it predicted. And then we hit the situation that this thing is not implemented, and the only thing we need to do here is just implement it. So let's make a small break, and after the small break, I'm going to go ahead and implement the drawing function, and we're going to try to save the result of shaping, of the text shaping, into a PNG file and see how it looks like. So luckily, I already have experience in doing this kind of things because this is literally what I do in Vodus, so it should be probably relatively easy to implement. Small break, 3 minutes, because I'll need to also refill my water, I need to pee and stuff like that, you know, the usual stuff. All right. So Zozin and right. let's make a small break, boys and girls, and you guys have fun. Yo, what's up, Epic Gamers? Welcome back. How are you all doing today? Anyways, so I wonder how I can extract the glyph. I do remember that in Vodus we already did that. Right, in Vodus, if I take a look at the image, image. All right. Slap image 32 onto image 32. I think there was something like slap text onto image. Yeah, there we go. So, and essentially, so we have a code. HB code point. So we'll have to feed the HB code point into there. So then we'll have a glyph index. Right, so yeah, so this is a glyph ID, and by glyph ID we retrieve a glyph index. So after that we'll have to load the glyph. Right, we'll have to load that glyph, and that will require to have a face. Right, so we're gonna accept FT face here. So here we go, here's the FT face. So after that, after we loaded everything, we need to render the glyph, right? And by the way, all of that can error out, so it's quite important to handle errors here. So it's going to be ft error, and let's actually put it here. If error happened, we're going to do something like fprintf std out could not load glyph, and we may actually print such glyph, because why not? Glyph ID, right? So just to know what exactly we're trying to load. Well, wait a second. Glyph index. Glyph std, yeah, it has to be std error. That's right. So I was just thinking, what should I put there? Could not load glyph code point, code point, and I'm gonna provide glyph ID. Let's put it like that. Code point this, and then index the other thing. By the way, hello Appa, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Really glad to see you, Appa. Glyph I index, there we go, and we're gonna exit all of that with one exit code. So does it make sense? It seems to be making sense. So after that we'll have to render the glyph, right? So this is error, and if error has happened, we're gonna say could not render the glyph. So it's pretty much the same problem, but we could not render it instead. Not this shed again. You already saw the stream? Or what do you mean? Not render glyph. Oh yeah, so you debated, yeah. So be careful when you're trying to tap his name. He's doing that intentionally, actually. So draw glyph and yeah, so we'll have to pass a face there. But what is the FT face? So here's the face. All right, so that means the thing that we have to put here is the face. All right, so it seems to be working, seems to be twerking. Okay, back to Vodus. So, and there, this is where we'll have to slap the bitmap onto some sort of a surface. But we need to allocate the surface. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is how it's gonna. This is how it's gonna happen. What's up, Sebastian? Sebastian. Hello, hello. So and there we go. So we'll have to define this thing. I'm basically copy pasting a little bit of code from Vodus to facilitate all of this stuff. Yep. And here we'll have to provide a bitmap, the color that we want to use, and the image32. So luckily defining image32 is super easy. So image32 is essentially this, right? So this is image32. And what is pixel32? Well, pixel32 is this. So, yep, the definitions are pretty straightforward, and we'll need to include some of the other stuff, stdint.h. So let's see if it compiles or not. So it doesn't recognize unknown type pixel, but I just defined it. Oh, I see, because it's C. Right, in C, if you're using a structure, you're supposed to prefix it with structure. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So because of that, usually C people define structures like this through a type def. So you don't have to do that. So let's quickly do that. I forgot that I'm programming in pure C. I keep forgetting that all the time. So yeah, so this one is going to be type def. And let's continue through the compilation errors. So we also have mix pixels. Alright, so we'll also have to bring that function from the Vodus, mix pixels. It doesn't really do anything special. It just blends, you know, two pixels together. Nothing particularly special, I gotta say. Just blends them together and, yep. Next one, so surface. We need to have a surface, and surface is going to be image32. There we go. This is the surface, and let's try to compile that. And color, what's going to be the color? I don't know. We can have like a font color. Font color, and this thing could be defined. I wonder if I can font. I wish I could easily define it somehow. Because I'm pretty sure, well, I can do something like this, case pixel 32, and a font color is going to be something like, how much red are we going to have? Let's define this 150, 150, 150, 150. So it's going to be sort of grayish, but brightish grayish, right? So this is basically going to be the idea. So pen X. So this is the pen X. We do have position X and position Y. So, and I suppose what I can do here, I can do X. Then I want to actually florf. Actually not florf because we have doubles, right? So there's no florfing when you have doubles, right? And after that I want to convert them to whatever integer we're using. I don't really know whatever integer we're using, so I'm gonna just do it like that. So we don't have a floor because we need to import the math function. So, and we probably won't be able to use math functions unless we, you know, link with math library. So this function is not callable for some reason. I don't quite understand why. So what does it say? Let me take a look closer. Called object is not a function or function pointer. Really? The fuck are you talking? Excuse me. This is a function. This is a like. Am I a Pepega? I think I'm Pepega. What did I fuck up? Oh shit. Is it one of those misleading errors? Is this one of those misleading errors that it's actually not the problem, but the problem is somewhere else? So I don't know. So I might as well actually try to do something like pixel 32. Is that what I have to try to do? Oh my, it's so dumb. Okay. So that should work actually. So what if I define it without the const? Semicolon at the end of the call. Oh shit, oh my god, this is so dumb. Like, C is so dumb sometimes. Like, there's no semicolon, but it's talking about completely fucking different shit. Oh my god. It's so annoying, seriously. It's like literally every time it just gives you like a wrong misleading errors and you have to deal with them. To be fair, Rust compiler is a bitch, but at least it doesn't mislead you that as much as GCC sometimes. Like, come on, Jesus Christ. Alright, so we need to, you know, allocate the surface or whatever. Image 32 surface. And what we're gonna actually do there, that's a good question. So the surface has a width and height. So how big of a width and height we're gonna have? Let's say maybe 1000 by 1000. How about that? It's 1000 by 1000. Is there any LSP in C? I'm pretty sure there is. Alright, so and then we'll have to provide the surface here. There we go. And then I'll have to allocate the pixels for these things. How are we gonna allocate the pixels? So pixels is gonna be malloc. I suppose size of pixel 32 multiplied by the width and height of this entire thing. The width and height of this entire thing. There we go. And maybe it makes sense to assert that we managed to allocate that. I'm not sure, like I kind of feel a little bit better if I just check that. And if we're cleaning up everything, I don't really know why do we have to clean up everything. I mean, the operating system will, you know, do that for us anyway. So, and of course we don't have a reference to the floor function because, as I said, you need to link with the math library. Math library, not math library. Math. Don't make fun of my pronunciation, okay? Okay, alright, so we still have the assert here. Where's the assert? Okay, here it is. So we're gonna remove the assert and we're gonna just run this thing, and it's worked perfectly. So the only reason why we can't see anything is because we don't save the image that we've got, right? So we need to be able to save that image. So where are we gonna save that image, and how we're gonna save that? I think I'm gonna actually yoink a little bit of code from from Vodus, but maybe not. Let's create our own function. Let's create our own function. So the function is going to be simply save image32 to PNG. You accept image32. So this is the image that you want to save. Then you're going to accept the file path. So here's the file path, and we're going to use a little bit of STB magic to save all of that to a PNG file. So let me actually grab the STB library. So if you never heard about this library, I really recommend to check them out. So they're basically header-only libraries, but they're so powerful. Like there's entire header-only library that can, you know, read and write PNG images. Well, I mean, reading and writing actually two separate libraries, but writing is like a separate library, and it supports GIFs, HDRs, PMP, PSD. Well, limited support of PSD, I suppose, but the main support is JPEG and PNG, and it's just a single header, so which is actually super cool. So, and this is exactly what we're gonna use here. Wait, this one is for loading them, so we need, I think, STB image write. Right, so we need STB image write. So let's quickly do that. Let's quickly find it. STB image write. STB image write. Let's take a row. Oh my god, it's so slow today. Let's download all of that stuff. Alright, cool. Alright, so we'll have to include this this library first. Right, so it's going to be stb image write, and then we also have to add this macro, otherwise this will not generate implementations of all of these functions in the header. So it's quite important. So the next thing we have to do, we need to write a PNG file. So this is how we're going to do that. We're going to call this function to do that. Alright, so the file path is this. So here's the file path. Width is this. Height is this. This is the amount of components. I assume we're going to say 4. So the data is going to be pixels, so it's going to be image pixels. And strided in bytes is basically the width of the image, but instead of pixels, bytes. So, and the way we're going to do that is by using image width multiplied by size of a single pixel, pixel 32. There we go. So, and also this entire call returns some sort of result, and return. So in case of success, what do we get in case of success? I don't quite remember. I think if not, so I think it returns OK, if I remember correctly. So there's a convention in STB libraries that the calls returns OK. So if not OK, we can say something like std error could not save file, right? Could not save file this file path, and then we're gonna exit with this thing, and there we go. We have a function that saves an image 32 to the file path. Isn't that beautiful? I think it's pretty cool. All right, so this is where we allocate the image. This is where we render glyphs into the image, and the only thing that is left here is to save image to the PNG file. Right, it's gonna be image actually surface, and we're gonna save it into the surface PNG, or maybe we're gonna call it output. Right, so this is gonna be the output. And there we go. And it worked. It even thought for a couple of seconds, and we do have output PNG. Would you look at that, boys and girls? We do have output PNG. So, are we ready to look into the output PNG and witness absolute garbage? I don't know what we're gonna see there, but we're gonna see nothing. Would you look at that? We literally see nothing. I'm so happy. So if I take a look at the Chromium, there's literally nothing there, and I wonder why. Yeah, cool. It's epic. All right. So let's log a little bit, okay? So let's log where, oh, I think I know. Draw glyph. So we're gonna add a little bit of logging here. fprintf drawing glyph, and it's gonna be I think lf drawing glyph at, and here is the coordinates of the thing that we're gonna draw here. It's gonna be x and y. It's gonna be x and y, and let's just try to run that thing, and it doesn't really compile anymore because it has to be like, I mean, I could have just used printf. Come on, there we go. So yeah, my assumption is because the glyphs are drawn upper relative to their line, right? And since the height here is 0, they're drawn outside. So I already experienced that problem before. So see, I'm an experienced developer. So essentially what we want to do here, we want to like give it like a bigger y initial. So, and then maybe, right, it will produce something that is actually visible. And it didn't. Cool. It actually literally didn't. That is awkward. Okay. Excuse me. Is it the okay? Experienced developer. Yeah, I'm apparently not as experienced as I thought. Maybe I need to make a smaller Oh, another interesting thing. We're not slapping pixels onto the surface. We're blending them. We're actually blending them, and blending them involves using like alpha and stuff like that, right? So since initially the canvas is filled with zeros, well, it does not necessarily fill with zeros, but well, there is a good chance that it's filled with zeros. The alpha is also going to be 0. What's the blend mode? We're using this function to blend them, so yeah, it's just this. All right, so I think we need to fill each individual pixel here with you know, with a particular color, with a particular background color, right? So let's quickly do that. I'm gonna iterate through all of the y's, right? It's gonna be like this, y less than surface height plus y. So then x 0x surface width plus x surface pixels, and then y is going to be multiplied by surface width plus x, and we're going to set the following thing here. So we're going to have like a darker gray, but the alpha here is going to be 255, and for this color it's also going to be 255, so they're not gonna, you know, have anything special. So pixel 32, can I just make it pixel 32? Yes, I managed to make it pixel 32. And can we see something now, please? Yes, we finally see something. Isn't that beautiful? Yes, and it cannot render that shit. I'm so happy. So it couldn't render the hello world that we wrote in Cyrillic. I'm super happy. And I wonder why. Is it because the font does not... Yeah, the probably reason is because the font does not support Cyrillic. So we need a font that actually supports them. And I think I had a similar problem in Vodus before. I have a similar problem in Vodus before. So, and for the UTF-8 tests, I used a different one. So I used font Japanese Gothic. What's cool about that font is that it supports Japanese and Cyrillic. I don't know why it supports Cyrillic, but it does, I think. Yeah. So, and probe HarfBuzz. Let's try to use that font instead. And there we go. Alright, so we're gonna replace it here, and we're gonna try to recompile that one more time. And let's take a look at the output, and the output still didn't produce like expected result. Does it have something to do with these string literals? Do you encode your string properly? Probably not. So I was hoping that it will be... Well, I typed this string in UTF-8, right? And I was hoping that it's going to be just const string and everything is going to be encoded in UTF-8, but apparently I'm wrong. Is your source UTF-8? Yes, it is. Weird. Maybe make L, but isn't L will make it like a wide or something? I feel like it will make it wide. Yeah, and it's not even compatible with this function. We can try to look at the output though, but it make it even worse. So we still cannot see anything. So what about hello world though? So if I put hello world like in Latin, will that work? Will that produce something? And I think it did. No, it didn't. So I need to increase the size of the font because I think there's something really weird going on. How can I increase the size of the font? So set size. Can I make it like 5 here? Let's see. Yeah, okay, so it cannot even render English, but this is because we said it's Cyrillic. It's understandable, actually. Alright, so let's replace that with Latin. Latin and English N, 9000, yeah. Maybe after I build everything, I want to just... whatever. Still doesn't work. What the hell is that? I actually followed example. Well, like some of the things I sort of made up, but what? Alright, so maybe glyph ID is the index. What if the glyph ID is the index and I don't need to get the... Okay, that could be a thing. So there could be like a bug in the rendering. So let me check my... check my assumptions. So we're gonna use it like that. So this is gonna be glyph ID. Glyph ID. It actually makes sense that it is a glyph ID. Alright, so, and yeah, I'm gonna just keep it like that. This is a glyph ID, and I have a feeling that this is exactly how we have to do that. So this is it's not actually a code point. All right. So if I open, I was right. Okay. So here's an interesting thing. If you work with a free type, right, and you're rendering a string, what do? You take the code point of the character, the glyph of which you want to render. It gives you the index. Then by that index, you load the glyph, like a bitmap of the glyph into the memory, right? So we have two steps: code point into glyph index into bitmap. Code point, index, bitmap. So from the HarfBuzz, I received something called glyph ID, and for some reason I assumed that it's a code point because it had type HB code point T. That type confused me. Right, so it had type code point T, so I thought, okay, it's a code point, so that means I need to convert it to index, and then I need to convert it to a bitmap. Right, but then why would they call it glyph ID? So, thank you, sample. Very cool. And keep in mind that this code is not part of the sample. They basically omitted this entire part of actually rendering your fonts, right? They only showed how to put the library together, but how you're gonna, put something on the screen with this library, you're on your own. So I had to come up with this myself, and yeah, there you go. Anyway, we have something that, looks like, readable. So let's continue experimenting with this thing. Let's continue experimenting, and I made the font a little bit brighter, so now we can see hello world quite easily. So and I think this library can do, I suppose one of the things it can do, it can render from right to left. So let's see. There you go, boys and girls. you need a whole huge bloated library just to render things like that. Well, I mean, it probably does more things, right? But still. So this is the feature, right? So to actually reverse this thing, you have to do all of this boilerplate. Yeah. It's kind of funny. Yeah, so let's actually try Cyrillic now. Yeah, it's true. So... Привет. Мир. So we're gonna change this thing to Cyrillic, and we're gonna do RU, and we're gonna render it from left to right, just to see how it goes. Right, and it rendered Cyrillic correctly. It rendered Cyrillic correctly. Now we can try to render it RTL and render it from a different perspective. And it rendered it. And actually you can render them top bottom, right? To top to bottom, right? And it will do that as well. And for some reason it shifted it a little bit. Very interesting. What the fuck has happened? Alright. Yeah, X became negative, actually. Oh, shit. And Y became negative. Oh! Top to bottom. Oh, that's really strange. So we'll need to actually allocate a little bit more memory, I think, for this entire thing. So it's 1000 by 1000. And the initial position could be around like 700 and 700, and let's see what's gonna happen. Alright, so yeah. And if we take a look at what happened here, there you go. So it tried to render it vertically for us. Well, it was kind of weird, but okay, so maybe Y can be like 1000. It doesn't even fit completely. That's really weird. But now it fits. Yeah, you can. It's actually bottom to top. It's bottom to top because of the screen coordinates. Because the 0x goes here, the positive x goes here, and positive y goes down. So okay, that makes sense why it was. Okay, that explains everything. That actually explains everything. All right. All right. All right. So, I don't think this library is useful for our case. I mean, it was fun to play with and stuff, but I don't see any usage, right? Yeah. If I want to rent, like, to be fair, I do more sophisticated things in Vodus, right? I integrate text with the images. So in Vodus, I have to do this kind of stuff myself, where the text along with the images and all wrapped around and stuff like that. And I do all of that without any third-party dependencies. Like whatever HarfBuzz is offering, like I can just do that myself, but I suppose maybe it's following some sort of standardization on how to compose glyphs. So, and I'm not necessarily gonna follow it properly, so until we actually need that, I don't know if we wanna add support for this library, but I'm really glad that I poked at this library and now I know that the library exists. And the next time somebody gonna submit an issue or a bug that, for example, this thing doesn't work with some, languages like Arabic or something like that, I know where to go. I know that I can use that library, and I roughly understand how to use that library. So I guess the research was successful, maybe? Question mark. So, and we ended up with a code that basically tests HarfBuzz. Does anybody need this code, by the way? I can try to commit it to GitHub for anyone who's interested in that. I just closed my eyes for a while. How did HarfBuzz go? HarfBuzz, yeah. So this is what we managed to do. We managed to render Cyrillic from bottom to top, but I actually asked it to render top to bottom, but because the coordinates are weird, I did it weirdly. To be fair, like, it's too much boilerplate for such a simple functionality. I could have done it myself, probably. I don't know. But again, you see, it actually has like a, this looks like a ligature, for example, right? So because these are two different characters, but it sort of blends them together. I don't know. So maybe for some specifications, this kind of library is needed. But I came to the conclusion that I'm probably not going to use this library in my project. So, but that egg on a chair. Well, very, very funny. Very funny. Yeah. But yeah, it was actually super cool that I checked out this library. And I think I want to commit this code, this sample, because the next time I will need HarfBuzz, I actually work in sample, not this thing that is not working, right? They just threw a bunch of things that are not compilable out of the context, so you can play with them, right? But this thing is actually compilable. You can just go ahead, compile it, and look at the result. And you know what? I'm gonna actually print something like generating, so s output file path. So, and I'm gonna replace this with the output file path, and the output file path is gonna be something special. Output file path equal to that, and there we go. So, and destroy whatever, I'm not sure if I want to actually print that, so I'm gonna quickly remove this thing. So I just want whoever is gonna play with this sample to see that a file got generated and you need to look into that file, right? So that's what I want to do. So, and let's create a repo out of that. So I'm gonna create a repo. So maybe it also makes sense to credit the original sample. Stolen from, let's say based on, and we're gonna put this thing here. So this thing is definitely based on all of that stuff. All right, so we're gonna save everything. It's gonna be a license, and I'm gonna use a MIT license. I'm really sorry. So I'm not sure if anyone needs this sample, but maybe somebody needs it. Maybe somebody needs that sample. Not even GPL3. I don't get your position on libraries for something you refuse to look at, stuff like dear I'm GUI. We had a whole stream where I was doing nothing but I'm GUI. What are you talking about? And said you write this kind of stuff before, but you use libraries. Yes. And I used I'm GUI. We had like a whole stream where I used it. I don't understand what you're talking about. And I don't understand what you want from me. Alright. Alright, so I want to ignore some of the artifacts that don't need to be committed. I'm just having fun. I'm just trying things, right? I try libraries, and then sometimes I'm trying to implement things that these libraries do. Like, why do I have to have position here? Like, why are you forcing me to have position? What? Like, I just having fun. Can we just have fun while programming? This channel is all about fun, I think. I hope, at least. Alright. So, ready, set, go, and I'm gonna call this maybe HarfBuzz sample. Let's call it example, I think. Sample. Wait a second. Our CI has crashed on macOS. God damn it. Alright, anyway. So let's create a separate repo for this kind of stuffs. So, and then we'll look into the crashed thingy. Alright. Actually working, actually compiling example of HarfBuzz usage. Yes, so this is what is going to be. This is what it's going to be, because whatever the documentation provides, it's not actually compilable and actually working. This is not a compilable code. This is bullshit, in my opinion. So I think, like, if documentation should, if documentation provides samples or examples, they should be compilable and they should produce something just to prove that your library fucking works, right? So this, like, I don't know what it is, but we created our own thing, so whatever. All right, so let's add this thing here and add origin, and let's just put it here, and this is gonna be this thing, and let's just push that right into the repo, I suppose. Alright, so for anyone who wants to play with it, here you go. So here is the example. So building it is actually pretty straightforward. You just make it and you just run it. I can actually add readme md HarfBuzz example, quick start. Actually, what did I say in the description? I kind of want to match the description. Actually working, actually compiling example of usage based on that original thingy. Where is that? I'm blind. Okay, there we go. Based on these things, quick start is essentially console make hb probe fetch output png. There we go. Dependencies, HarfBuzz, free type 2. Right, so yeah, install them yourself. Add readme with instructions. There we go. Let's push that right into the repo. There we go. So we have some artifacts of this research, I would say. This is not what I wanted to have. Alright, so I suppose we did a research on HarfBuzz. Okay. I checked out this library. It's pretty cool, but I think it's overkill for our application for now. Maybe we can find a use for it later. There we go. I'm gonna close that. There we go. So that's the result of the issue. I wanted to check out HarfBuzz. I checked it out. I came to the conclusion, and this is the artifact of the research. Everyone can look at it and maybe learn something from it, especially how to use HarfBuzz. And yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's go back to the emote downloader. So the previous issue that we were working on, by the way, we are working on the Vodus, right? So we are working on the Vodus. The previous issue was fixing the emote downloader. By the way, hotspots, remember how the build was breaking when you submitted PR? So we're working on that issue. I think I even mentioned in the PR that I created an issue for fixing that. Right, so we did that, but it still breaks, but on macOS. So it still breaks. So the thing is, we just had to upgrade the API, BTTV API that we're using. I think we're just using old deprecated API. All right. Okay, maybe it makes sense to actually mention that. Whatever. So I want to take a look at the macOS build and see what exactly going on there. No, hotspots didn't break the build. And we don't have a free... What? What? Excuse me? Package JL... Oh, shit! Hi, Beat Ak. I hope I pronounced your name correctly.
What interesting did I miss today? Tsoding.
Thank you so much for 3 months of tier 1 subscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You missed, well, a little bit of interesting. We're fixing emote downloading for Vodus. And essentially it boiled down to using a new BTTV API. And all of that in C++, by the way. We're making REST API queries and downloading emotes entirely in C++. I know that modern C++ developers completely forgot how to develop in C++, and this kind of job is usually done in Python. Like every time you need to work with REST API queries, parse some JSON, download some emotes, people just opt to the Python, but no, we did all of that in C++. Hardcore C++, because we do remember how to program in C++. We didn't forget how to do that. But it breaks from time to time. But to be fair, Python scripts also break from time to time. So, and another thing, we checked a library called HarfBuzz. Right. We checked a library called HarfBuzz, which is a text shaping engine. And I heard about it from the conversations on our Discord, because we have a Discord server and we do have offline discussion related to programming and stuff like that. And this library popped up in one of the conversations and I thought, oh, maybe I can use that in Vodus. So basically what it does, it helps you to define combination of glyphs for situations like Arabic languages, right, where you need to rearrange your symbols from right to left and stuff like that. I checked out this library. I think right now it's overkill, but maybe in the future when we're going to support like more languages and stuff like that, we're going to start using it. Why don't you download assets with GitHub Actions? Because you're not going to have GitHub Actions when you have this application. So this application is supposed to download them themselves. All right, so we don't have OpenGL on macOS for some reason. Let me try to find out what exactly wrong is here. So GitHub workflow CI. GitHub workflow CI. So do I install OpenGL on Ubuntu? I actually don't. Does anybody remember? Do you have to do that? It's kind of funny. You might need framework OpenGL and framework glut. How do I do that? Excuse me. Like, okay, there are flags, but where do I put them? Like, I don't know where to put them. In the make file. Here? I mean, where? I don't understand. So I put them here? Like, where? Who? Like, I don't understand, I'm sorry. Okay. So maybe I can just install JL. Does JL exist there? Or OpenGL? We can check it out. Oh, by the way, I heard that macOS is not shipped with OpenGL anymore, or something like that, because the Apple pushes for their metal thingy or something. So yeah, I'm not sure. It still is. There's existing framework. I don't know how to use it. I'm sorry. I have no idea how to use it. I don't even know where to put it. So do we have this? Okay. Oh, there we go. You mean here? Okay, I see. Framework OpenGL, but I'm not sure if we need glut because we're already using how is it called? GLFW. Because yeah, GLFW already exists. I don't think we need it. So I'm gonna try to add only OpenGL, and we'll see how it goes. So try to fix macOS build. Try to fix macOS build. So maybe I have to actually, excuse me, add that like before, because there's like a sequence of frameworks here. All right. So I didn't push yet, luckily, so I can just amend this thing and push one more time. All right. So it's probably going to take some time because the dependencies didn't cache, so it will try to rebuild all of the dependencies for macOS. And while it's doing, we can try to work on something else, I think. we can pretty much try to work with something else. All right, so recently we introduced previews for rendering. Okay, video rendering. Just a second, I'm updating the title because we're already working on something different. We're done with HarfBuzz, so we're gonna be working on video rendering preview with OpenGL, right? Hello FreeFowl, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? Really glad to see you today. So, okay. So essentially, our application is capable of generating the video, right? So it generates the video from a text. So here's the text, and then we do something like output impeg, and here's the video. So, but we also have a special mode that enables you with previewing what video is going to be generated before generating the actual video file. So let's take a look at it. So I probably will have to switch to a different branch. Yeah, because that one is not merged yet. So let's quickly create a separate one. 142. There we go. There we go. And yeah. So I'm gonna use debug. Excuse me. Yeah. So, and what we have to do here, we have to just add flag output type preview, and instead of generating a video, it will start an OpenGL window and preview everything. This is actually kind of weird. I think we recently implemented the FPS synchronization, didn't we? I think we did. Wait a second. Let me fetch the latest stuff, because like it plays way too fast, right? It plays way too fast. And I think I fixed that. I made synchronization with an actual FPS. So that means this is a very old version or something. No, it's actually okay. Huh. Didn't I rebuild everything from scratch correctly? Let's rebuild everything, because I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I was rebuilding only emote downloader, which makes sense. Was rebuilding only emote downloader. So it takes some time. It's a full rebuild. It rebuilds everything, literally everything. And let's try to preview that. It's still too fast. Didn't I merge it or something? Yeah, sync OpenGL preview with the FPS. It's literally there. Something got broken. All right, let's investigate. Encoder. So we have a delay. So here I see a delay. And if it's a Windows, so we use milliseconds actually. All right, so I don't see any delay. Do we have some sort of a speed variable? No, I don't have any speed variables. The only thing that I do there is FPS. So let me try to comment this out, just in case it somehow affects the stuff. So I'm gonna try to rebuild Vodus Debugus. Here is the Vodus Debugus, and there we go. So I'm gonna try to run it one more time. What about release? It's completely broken. Alright, so that's something that we'll have to investigate at some point. But the thing I want to implement, I want to be able to pause the execution of this thing. I want to be able to pause. Like, for example, press space, and that will pause the generation of the frames and stuff like that. And then you will be able to press again and continue generation. So yeah, that would be actually pretty cool. Mm-mm. 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 Delta time, so FPS parameters. So then we use a delta time. So you know what? I have an idea. So maybe we should use floats instead of integers. Right, floats that represent like seconds, because they scale a little bit better, they scale a little bit easier. So yeah, let's give it a try. So this is gonna be maybe double, and this is seconds. So and essentially what we do here, in seconds, we multiply them by 1 million, because uSleep accepts microseconds, right? It accepts microseconds. And in here, when I do FPS, I just literally take this thing, and then I convert this entire thing to double. There we go. So here's the clock. Clock, if I remember correctly... Oh, wait a second. Oh, shit. Yes. By refactoring thing, I found the bug. So in our original code... Okay, I found the bug. It's kind of funny. Yeah. It's super funny. So our original delay takes milliseconds, but the frame time, right, and minus context begin, right, all of them are results of clock. They are in microseconds. Jesus Christ. That's why they don't add up, because I'm subtracting microseconds, right, microseconds from milliseconds. Goddamn. And that's why, like, it probably goes to negative or something like that. I probably add like a last minute changes to this code, and probably didn't test it, and that beat me in the ass as usual. So always taste your changes, no matter what they are. So essentially here, what I want you to do is probably, so since it's in microseconds, I want to divide it by 1000. And let's recompile this entire thing. To be fair, the entire synchronization is kind of lame. It is kind of lame, but it is what it is. It's not double, it's a debug. Right. And now it is synchronized according to the like time properly, so there's nothing special here. So yeah, it's on time. Time is correct, and everything is okay. I just needed to divide by 1000 because I need to convert milliseconds, microseconds to milliseconds, right? And one way to do that is just divide by 1000. Alrighty. So let's do a pull request for that. So I'm gonna create like a fix synchronization fix preview sync. Fix preview sync. Alright, so fix bug in the OpenGL preview FPS synchronization, something like this. We're gonna call it something like this, and I'm gonna do push that and create a separate repo, because I'm not sure if our thing is buildable yet. I'm not sure if our project is buildable. We're still experimenting with macOS. So yeah, that's why it's gonna be a separate thingy here. Alrighty. So what I want to do, I want to be able to tell the render engine to stop rendering. Yeah, that's what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to tell it to stop rendering. So essentially, I don't know how to explain that, but our rendering acts like an engine, I think. It acts like an engine. So essentially, So rendering engine. So what it does, it's generating frames in a loop. So there is a loop, right, that generates frames. Frame. So, and you can like have several of them. It just, this rendering engine just generates the frame. So, and the frame is just a region of memory with pixels and stuff like that, right? And then there is an encoder, right? And the rendering engine sort of wraps around an encoder. Like this. Encoder. So, and the encoder consumes the frames generated by the engine. So what's interesting is that you can have a custom encoder. So this part is customizable. So in this entire system, this encoder part is customizable. Right, so you have a rendering engine that keeps generating frames, and every time it generates a new frame, it feeds that frame into the encoder, and it doesn't care what what encoder will do with that frame, right? So, and we have several encoders. The first kind of encoder, it generates like an actual video file. It uses FFmpeg to generate an actual video file. Every time you feed a frame to it, it actually adds, like puts it through a codec and then saves it to a file. Another an encoder that we have is a PNG encoder. So essentially, every time you feed a frame into it, it creates a new PNG file on the file system. So it's needed when you need to test things, right? When you want to just look how the program works, and you want to look frame by frame, and it's easier when you have separate files there. So, and another encoder we have is OpenGL Preview encoder. So essentially, right, the way OpenGL Preview works is that it's working inside of an encoder. That encoder creates a window and waits for frames from rendering engine. And every time it receives the frame, it puts that frame into OpenGL texture and displays it on an OpenGL window. Right. And as you can see, like the code that generates frames is the same, but it can be reused across different use cases, such as generating a single video file, generating a sequence of files for each individual frame, and previewing in a separate window. And all of that done using the same engine. So yeah, and you basically just add more and more different encoders that do different things and stuff like that. How did you achieve that in C? I achieved that in C++, but I actually program in C style. I'd use an interface for the encoder, in other words. So basically, I achieved that in C using function pointers. So basically, I just provide to the rendering engine a function pointer called encode_frame. And yeah, so the rendering engine actually calls that function every frame. Out9, hello, welcome to the stream. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? Alrighty. So, why I was explaining all that? I forgot why I was explaining all that. Oh yeah, so I left a comment on the PR. There is a little bit more work to do, but it's quite simple. Okay, I'll do that. I'll go get dinner for now. Okay, enjoy your meal. So why I was explaining all of that? I was explaining all of that because I want to implement a pause for preview, right? So I want to be able to pause. And within the current paradigm of an engine, right, that currently feeds frames into an encoder, it's kind of difficult because encoder cannot stop a rendering engine. Encoder does not control rendering engine. So we need to add some sort of like a feedback back to the rendering engine, so encoder can tell the rendering engine, please stop, don't send me any more frames. Something like that. Right. You see what I mean? And once we have this kind of mechanism, we'll be able to actually pause rendering in the preview. So this right now is a preview, right? And we'll be able to pause that preview at some point. I don't know. So, and that will require extending that rendering engine, and this is going to be in the scope of the issue. Okay, let me take a look at the comment that was left by Jiang. Let me take a look at the comment. Fix bug in the Bajel preview. Okay. Wait. What am I doing? A bit lazy to open PR, so here's what needs. Okay. So he wrote like a div, but in a natural language. I see how it is, but I mean it's understandable. Somehow exclude GL from package config list in macOS. Looks like package config fails entirely if one of the packages. Okay, I see. Define GLFW include GL core RB before including GLFW3 next to existing define. Okay, framework is necessary, and yeah, GLUT is not needed here. Makes sense. You can do GL silence deprecation in CXX flags if you want to silence warnings, but it's not necessary. Okay, so let's give it a try. Let's do all of that. Thank you, GM. Thank you. So okay, good. So I need to remove JL from this Vodus packages. Should be pretty straightforward. I can do something like this. Right. Does it have else? Yeah. If it's Darwin, right, I'm gonna just exclude it. Pretty epic, isn't it? Okay, the first step was achieved. What is the next step left by Jiang? Define this thing before including that thing. Cool. Let's go ahead and do that. Vodus CPP, Vodus CPP and GLFW. Okay, so I wonder, I think the order doesn't matter, but yeah. So let me also try to rebuild everything. Oh shit, I'm in the wrong branch. Let me quickly go back to the right branch. What is the right branch? 146. 146. I can't switch anymore. Yeah, scheiße. 146. Yeah. All right. So, and let's do something like pop. All right. And let's try to build that and see if I didn't break anything. I'm gonna build everything. Speak French. You do realize, he heard supports that you just got debated by your own bot. You, in fact, were trying to send message to yourself, but you got debated by autocompletion. How about that? All right, everything seems to be compiling. And what's the next one? Freeway OpenGL is necessary, okay. And this thing is optional. Cool. I think I'm ready to do a committee and maybe even push it. Let's go ahead and do that. All right. Autocompletion doesn't autocomplete your own nickname. Wait. Oh shit, it doesn't. Alright. Well, I mean, it's kind of difficult on my own channel because if I start typing Tsoding, it autocompletes all of my emotes instead. So yeah. Alright. So migrate emotes don't. Okay. Apply Jiang's solution to the failing Mac OS build. There we go. I'm gonna push that right into the repo. Hopefully everything's gonna be okie dokie karaoke. Did it push it? Did it even push it? I don't see any pushy action. Where is the pushy action? Oh, okay, so here is the pushy action. Maybe you need to start with the capital T. Maybe. I don't think so, actually. Yeah, it doesn't autocomplete anything. So Out9 is right. It doesn't know how to complete your own nickname. Interesting. Never thought about it. Will what has been noob friendly for like non-tech savvy users? Probably not, because making a noob friendly software is hard, right? Yeah, it's actually unnecessarily hard. Okay, so what else do we have here? What else do we have here? So fix bug here. So it's still not properly building, and this is probably because we haven't merged that pull request yet. Yeah. All right. So I don't know. We'll already stream for 3 hours, and I feel kind of tired already. So I think today was a pretty good stream, pretty productive stream. We finally managed to fix emote downloader situation, right? So we migrated emote downloader to a new API, so it doesn't get smashed by Cloudflare. And we also checked out HarfBuzz. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. So yeah, we checked out HarfBuzz, this library. It's a really interesting library, and I think I'm gonna add it to my toolbox every time I'll need it. So yeah, I think today's stream was interesting. Anyway, thanks everyone who's watching right now. I really appreciate that. Have a good one, and I see you. We will actually on Friday. I see you all on Friday because tomorrow is a day off. Yeah, so Thursday is an official day off. But yeah, maybe on Thursday we're gonna do yet another introvert party. We'll see. I think. So yeah. So again, I'm gonna see you all on Friday. Check out our schedule page for more information on different projects we're working on throughout the week. Also check out our VODs channel, VODs YouTube channel, where we archive all of the VODs on this Twitch channel. And also check out our Discord server for offline discussion with the community. So yeah, that's it for today, boys and girls. That's it for today. Thanks everyone for watching. See you all on Friday. Love you all.